Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shuffle Podcast, episode 269.
69.
I'm Joe.
I'm Lauren.
Lauren, how the heck are you?
I am fantabulous. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Great. I'm doing well.
You're doing just well.
Doing swell.
Swell. I'll take swell. That's
You know what I recently suck my ass. Recently realized? I recently realized that the word swell came from like saying I'm doing so well, and it just got a little.
Are you sure, or are you just making that assumption?
No, like that's real.
Is it? Because swell is a word that doesn't only mean I'm doing good. Like the water swelling?
Yeah, no. In the regards to how you're doing.
Oh, as a response
it means
to how you're doing.
Like, it's so well. And then it got... They're like, we can make this one word. We can make this one syllable.
Are we sure?
Swell.
We get lazy. We used to have really cool language.
Yeah, well...
Like twas.
What was it? Howdy, I think, is the...
How are you doing?
It came from, like, how do you do?
Oh,
how do you do?
How
and
do
it just
you do?
got...
And we just were like,
howdy.
too many do's.
Because now, people sometimes say howdy do.
Howdy do.
Yeah,
And
that
how
came
do
from
you do?
how do you do?
I see.
Yeah.
That's
so that's where howdy
wild.
came from.
I like howdy. I wish people used howdy more.
I love howdy.
I prefer.
I've got howdy tattooed on me.
You do have howdy tattooed
Yeah.
on you, which is crazy. I know we talked about that in the past when you got it,
Yeah.
but that's insane.
I mean, I say howdy
You got that on
a
a
lot.
Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah.
So the next one is in June. Do you have plans to get another?
I mean, I never have plans.
Sure. Well, do you plan on going to shop on Friday the 13th every single Friday the 13th? Because there's only 1 to 2 per year.
So
And this
like
year, the only one-
this one
It's
back
only
in
one.
December, no,
Okay.
I didn't go because it's just so busy
Yeah.
because
it's
it's
tough.
so popular.
It's tough.
So like I'll look at the flash sheets,
Mhm.
and if there's something that I'm like, okay, I could be convinced, then I'll make a plan to go. But if I look at them, I'm like,
Yeah.
then I'm not gonna bother.
I almost went because of like the piercing sales, but I don't know if I'm gonna go this year. But there's only one this year. The only one is in June.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to be like, damn. What if
Does it
if I don't
alternate? Is
go?
it like 1 then 2 then 1 then 2, or is it?
I
Like,
don't know if it.
Does it go like
alternates.
1 then 1 then 1 then 2 then 1 then 2?
Okay, now you're starting to talk in code, and I
Yeah.
don't speak that language.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, you've only
really.
gone as far as this year.
Yeah,
for-
I only
for-
checked this year's.
because that's all that
calendar.
matters.
Yeah, when Friday the 13th. I love Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna rant about it because I've talked about it many times before.
Right. Yeah.
But-
Absolutely. Yeah.
I do know that it is June of this 2025, and that's
Yeah.
the only one. Because
Cool.
I made note last time because I didn't go get a tattoo or piercing.
Yeah.
When's the next one that I can do?
Absolutely.
But you look like you're about to say something.
I was just looking to make sure I had
Oh.
the right things pulled up
Heard.
for today's
Heard.
for today's episode.
For today's episode, yeah, you stressed me out. You were like looking at. I'm like,
No,
what are you about to say?
I
What
was
do
just
you,
making
do you
sure
have a
that
big
I got the right things.
heard?
Gotta
heard.
organize myself, otherwise I just go off the rails.
Which is normally how this
Yeah.
podcast.
I mean, that's how I got.
starts
That's
or
how we just started
goes.
talking about swell and howdy. So
Right. Yeah. Just kind of
Yeah.
just.
that's where the s'more came from too.
Which is
Some more.
some more.
I'd like some more.
I
Can I
don't-
have a s'more?
I don't know if that's
That one is
true.
actually true. That's why there's an apostrophe in the word s'more, because they cut off the.
Because you wanted some more graham crackers.
You wanted
and
some more graham crackers, chocolate, and marshmallow. Yeah, I swear to
No.
God,
I
that's where the
don't-
word s'more came
I
from.
don't know.
They cut off the OME from some and just put, we can just make that s'more.
And that's the name of the.
Yeah, because they're like, can I
treat.
have some more? More. Can I get
That's-
some more? Let me get a s'more. I promise you I'm not bullshitting. I swear to you.
But like, are there any other foods that are named like that? Like, I would want some more of other things, like some more Cheetos. But
More
Cheetos are not
Cheetos.
called s'mores. S'more Pop Tarts.
Yeah, but like that's where s'more, the name s'mores.
How did you find this out? Fact check.
The internet. What do you mean? This is like common knowledge.
I don't eat.
I actually think I was
s'mores.
watching a TV show and found that out.
So it's untrustworthy,
It wasn't like Disney Channel.
right? Was there a laugh track?
No, it was like the Discovery Channel.
Okay, then I'll allow it. Or like How It's Made.
Yeah, Animal Planet.
Did you ever watch How It's Made?
Did I ever watch How It's? Have you met me?
You give How It's Made
Yeah,
energy.
I know I do.
You give Mythbusters
Oh,
energy.
yo.
You I don't know if that's a compliment
That's
or
a
not.
huge compliment.
That's the kind of shows I feel like you grew up watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I watched.
My favorite time of year, Shark Week. Every July.
Know that. Shark Week's good though.
It's fantastic.
Like a lot of people do get into that.
But like, yeah, How It's Made, MythBusters, those two are really good. Those specifically those
ones
two.
Like that. I can't think of any others in that genre. Can I.
Oh, Dirty Jobs, with Mike Rowe. Loved
I
it.
used to watch that when I was younger.
Loved
and then I
Dirty
was like,
Jobs.
nah.
They should bring it back.
I think they should bring back How It's Made.
Yeah.
Did it ever stop? I feel like they still.
Oh yeah, they stopped it. They have like
run it.
They have like different. Oh well, yeah, they have reruns. They have like different versions of it now. Or they'll have. Have you ever seen like the like comedy ones where it's like they like made a joke out of the show How It's Made? But it's you got to look them up. It's very very funny.
I know the only one I know is the Rick and Morty.
I have not.
Was
seen
it
that.
Plumbus?
You're speaking another language right now.
They do a play on MythBusters or not How It's Made, making like some kind of alien thing.
You know, they have got like a spoof of How It's Made, and it's very very funny.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you watch the History Channel a lot.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Ancient Aliens. Yeah. Classic.
Pulled that out quick.
Yeah.
I really liked this isn't on the History Channel, but I really like Drunk History. Have you ever watched that?
Yes. That was on YouTube, wasn't it?
Loved that. I think it was on Comedy Central.
Yes.
And like most of the time they just post it onto YouTube or clips onto YouTube.
Yeah.
But I watched a lot of Drunk History in like high school and stuff because why would I study when I could just crash course it? Yeah. Or oh my god,
I'll tell you what though, as like history,
I could binge John Green.
Yeah.
John Green?
Yeah. No, John Green's the author.
No, it's the other one.
Hank Green.
Hank. I could binge those.
I like history as, and I'm gonna preface this with I don't care about history.
Oh, that's good.
I shouldn't say I don't care about history. I don't like learning about history to an extent.
Okay.
But like history as a child, worst thing in the world.
Oh.
Hated it.
Really?
History now, like now that I understand like the repercussions of it and like how the world works.
Right.
Now I find it a little bit more fascinating. But like I only want to learn about the history of shit that I care about.
Right.
Like I don't want to learn about the history of the stupid I can't even think of an example because I don't care about it.
You don't care.
But like the history of like on the History Channel they had like the things that built America. So they had like the food that built America, the candy that built America, the brands that built America.
Sure.
And so like stuff like that and like learning the history of like how we have credit cards now or how we have Skittles now. Like learning about that stuff is like fascinating to me. But like when I'm sitting in a class and they're like, here's the French-Indian War. I don't even know if that was a real thing that happened.
Yep, that was.
That's what I thought.
That was a good point.
But like I don't care at all.
Right. I do like what you're talking about, like those kind of like niche history things, how we got here, like the movies that made like us and also like kind of changed the world too, like how people like changed styles after movies. I always find that really interesting. I mentioned this on last week's podcast, but talking about myths. I can't say it really.
Myths. Mythical things.
Mythical creatures. But
Greek
mythology.
Love that stuff.
I just started listening to an audiobook. Like I said last week, I pulled out my textbook, but I also found an audiobook of just the myths and have been listening to them because I was like, you know what? If I want a weird niche thing to know a lot about, I think knowing like all those random stories and like the offshoots, because there's
cool.
you know the general ones, like all the different gods and kind of like what their powers are, but all the offshoots about like the children and the relationship, the relationship with humans and all of Zeus's affairs.
Yeah, Zeus has got to chill, dude.
Dude, it pisses me off, but it's really interesting.
Just
and
like a man.
That side of history I really like.
Disgusting.
I know. But that side of history I really like because it's cool to see how like that kind of shaped also like regular culture.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I need to get more history savvy though. Now that, like you said, as adults, where we actually understand it.
Yeah, I think it also. I
want to watch like
adults,
Crash
because
Course.
Like that cliche saying of like history repeats itself, which is so true.
It's so true.
Yeah, it's not cliche.
Very
it's very
relevant
true.
right now. Yes. It's so true.
But like,
yeah.
So like, obviously that means more as an adult because it like directly impacts us nowadays. Currently. Whereas like kids.
It's a parent's
It doesn't
problem.
matter to them at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you should start learning history until you're in at least high school.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of because I don't know how your school, because you went to a different schooling than I did. But like we learned about like Native Americans only in 4th grade, and then we were done.
Wow.
And then, like, that actually
sounds like that is exactly what I did. Mm-hmm. I don't think I might have. I think I may have learned more about it in the 6th grade than the 4th grade.
Yeah. Well, our 4th grade was strictly Virginia history because I'm from Virginia.
Yeah.
And that's all we did for the whole year.
A lot of Native Americans there.
And that's actually very relevant history though, because that's Jamestown and the first couple settlements and a lot of battles happened there.
Isn't Virginia where that colony disappeared, or that
the lost colony of Roanoke?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a story. Oh my God. Yeah. I watched a documentary about that a few years ago.
That's like the original like true crime podcast.
Yeah.
The first true crime. Where did they go?
Where did they go?
Yeah.
Will they ever find?
We don't know, right? We still don't. Like that was never solved. Just checking. Okay.
Yeah, no. It's very interesting.
I was like, is that something that like we actually know but I never got the answer to, or
No, I mean they have signs. A lot of people just assume they like all got sick and dispersed and disappeared, things like that.
Yeah, but like,
there's no.
Wouldn't they have found
evidence. Water? I don't know. They just disappeared into the ocean. I don't know.
Crazy.
I really don't know much about it, but
wow.
Yeah, no. A lot of history starts in Virginia, and so I know a lot, but only from 4th grade.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what.
Doesn't stick. Yeah.
That's also when I learned what like a plateau versus a mountain was.
Yeah, like if you start learning that in high school, it's more likely to kind of get some room up there.
Right, but in high school you learn Gov, which I didn't pay attention to. Should have, didn't. Some world history.
Yeah.
But again, it was just like repeating what we've learned. Here's just war. Don't do this again.
Yeah. You know what else is crazy to me is like how little we learn about the world here in America, whereas like in other countries they know everything about everywhere, and I'm like, damn, we're out of the loop. They got the jump on us big time. We're big stupid.
We're big stupid.
And it shows.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It's very
I said in my Instagram story last week, USA sucks, I'm moving to Canada.
Yeah, exactly. I remember
to be fair though, I think Canada might be a little out of the loop sometimes too.
But nothing happens to Canada.
Yeah,
nothing
they're just
bad,
there.
Nothing good. They're just there.
Nothing good happens to them.
Apparently, there's nothing bad happens. They're just there. They're good. We get some good people out of it too.
Who? Justin Bieber?
Ryan Reynolds.
Good point.
I think those two are enough to be like, I'm okay with it.
I could do without Justin Bieber.
He's supposed to drop a new album, I think, soon. Rumors. I was never a believer though.
You were never a believer?
I
find that hard to believe. I find that hard to believe.
Believe? Yeah, not me. I nor a big One Directioner actually.
Oh wow.
I did like One Direction. It was all that was playing when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But I was a Backstreet girl.
Oh yeah.
And that stuck. And I was like, no, I'm a true fan. I know they're from the 90s, but like I care more about them than these new 90s. Boys. I know. And then yeah. Not my time.
Because you were born in the 2000s.
I was born in 2000 flat. Ugh. But anyways, but then Zayn broke off of One Direction, and then I was like, oh, I actually like this music, and started listening to that. And then Harry broke off, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
So then
my boy Harry.
Oh, wow. What a man.
Yeah.
What a man.
Amen.
Wow. Anyways,
I've got...
Stop the snowball, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I've got an interesting question for you. I thought about this a couple weeks ago, and I wrote it down, and I was like, we'll get to this eventually.
Yeah.
And it's a would you rather.
Oh, okay,
question.
Cool. Bring it on.
Would you rather, and I do want a solid explanation on this.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather fight and it's always fighting, right?
I was gonna say, have you already asked me this?
No.
Okay.
Would you rather fight a toddler-sized gorilla or a gorilla-sized toddler?
Definitely a gorilla-sized toddler. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Because toddlers are so quick to crying if you trick their mind into thinking they got hurt. Have you seen all those videos of like someone pounding a table and be like, oh, are you okay? And the kid starts crying.
Yeah, they're like,
it's a response.
I'm hurt.
So you could easily stand there and just like pinch them and be like, oh my gosh, are you? And the kid will just stop functioning.
Yeah, but they're the size of a gorilla.
And they'll sit their ass down and cry. And it'll be easy. They'll tire themselves out from crying. You hit them once and they would be crying. And it's game over. That's how you win.
Yeah, but
a gorilla with opposable thumbs and the intelligence of a full-grown gorilla, just 4 feet tall or 3 feet high.
Just toddler sized.
Toddlers are this big.
You just knock him over.
He would be so scary. The teeth, ankle biter. He'd be a real ankle biter.
You just knock him over.
Nah, I think a toddler. Would be
I don't know.
I think a toddler.
A big baby or a small gorilla. Small gorilla all day.
I think I could take on a toddler.
Big baby.
Yeah, I deal with it every day with the men I talk to. I'm so kidding. That's such a lie.
No, I have to go toddler-sized gorilla because they're
crazy.
just small. Anything small is easier to take down.
The grabbing, the speed.
Yeah, but they're small.
The speed.
Their tiny little toddler hands can't grab anything. They might be gorillas.
It's not going to have toddler-sized hands.
Yeah, it is.
So it's in the shape of a toddler. That's creepy as fuck.
It's a gorilla the size of a human toddler, or a human toddler the size of a full-grown gorilla.
Right, but proportionately, a gorilla's hands are much bigger than like our hands.
Sure, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So if it's shrunk it down, it doesn't mean it's gonna have.
It'll have
hands
smaller
this big.
hands. It'll have bigger hands than a toddler.
Yes.
But it will have smaller hands than me. I could bitch slap the gorilla.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that one.
Just because he has the intelligence of an adult gorilla doesn't make him any better. He's small.
Okay, not to be a nerd, but think of like Ant-Man.
Yeah, but that's a superhero. Gorillas don't get smaller, proportionally stronger with size.
I know, but I'm just trying to think of like there's a lot of creatures in the animal kingdom that just because they're smaller doesn't mean they can get beat.
I'm telling you right now, because listen to this, right? There are toddler-sized gorillas. We know what they look like already.
Right.
They're pretty fucking small and useless. So sure, they don't have the intelligence of a full-grown gorilla.
Right.
But they're small and useless.
But you genuinely think you could take on a gorilla at the smaller size?
Yeah. If it's toddler size. If you ask me to take on a gorilla, no, I'm dead.
And would you take on any predator at a toddler size? Like a lion?
Toddler-sized bear?
Or a toddler-sized bear, yeah.
I could take out a toddler-sized bear,
That's such a crazy claim to me. I don't know why, but I don't think that's true.
But you're insane if you think that's true. Would you rather take on a toddler-sized bear or a bear-sized toddler?
Take on a bear.
We're talking about a 600-pound baby.
Yes.
Or a 10-pound, a 15, maybe 20-pound bear.
Yes. Again, I'm thinking of the mind. I know I can best the mind.
The mind doesn't mean anything.
It means everything.
If they're this big.
You can best the mind. Yes.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, that 600-pound toddler is falling on you, you're dead.
Sure.
I can drop kick a 20-pound bear into next week. Watch me outrun a toddler-sized bear.
The thing is,
gone. I win.
The bear's not going to be 20 pounds either.
Yes, it is because it's toddler-sized.
Okay, but I'm thinking micro-scaling.
No.
You're literally saying it is all in made-up world.
It is the size of a human toddler.
And it is 3 feet tall?
Sure, yeah.
I still would take the toddler.
You're crazy.
No, I'm fully right in this scenario. I stand by this.
Because toddlers start to get some knowledge sometimes. I know I keep saying baby, but I do mean toddler. Like, capable enough
Right.
To be aware,
They chat
of
a little
the kind,
bit.
yeah.
They chat a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I'm thinking from the angle of the mind and knowing that I could best a toddler's mind.
You're insane.
You don't think you could best a toddler's mind?
I know that I can.
Because that's depressing.
I know that I
you
can.
are smart.
I know that I can.
And
However,
so it would be the easiest battle.
But I'm
you
talking.
You won't even have to touch him.
No, because all that toddler needs to do is be like, I'm annoyed. Swipe, and you're dead.
So you keep your distance. Oh my!
How are you gonna keep your distance in a fight?
Are we cage fighting now? What?
I said you have to fight them.
Right, and I'm fighting him with words.
Oh, you are
cannot.
Such a woman.
Okay, see, but you cannot pull all these parameters like they weigh 20 pounds too, and then be like, no, you're actually in a 10-foot box.
I never said where you are, but I did say you had to fight. You can't just be
fight.
like, you're crying now, bitch.
Yeah,
like you have to fight it.
I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk mad shit to this toddler.
Okay, that's fine.
And he's going to cry, and I will win.
But how do you determine the win? He's going to cry enough to pass out?
You're going to murder...
A 600-pound toddler is just going to pass out?
You're murdering the gorilla in the end? Is that the goal? Is it death?
Well,
to
maybe
the death?
not to the death.
Okay, so...
I mean, I don't want to be a
I'll tie
murderer
up
here.
the baby then. I don't know.
You're going to tie up a baby?
So what is winning for you? How are you beating this gorilla?
They got to tap out.
Then I will...
I need a ref.
See? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this is where...
To be like, 1, 2, 3...
Yeah, because the gorilla will know how to do that.
No, I need a human ref.
Yeah, so if the baby gets put to sleep, the toddler gets put to sleep, that's an automatic tap out. That's a KO. Knockout. Done.
You're not putting a 600-pound toddler to sleep.
Yes, I am.
No shot.
Easily.
You're crazy.
Give
me a
nursery rhyme.
I don't know. I don't know if
rhyme.
there's any animal that I would say, yeah, that but bigger. Or like, sorry, I don't think there's any animal where I would say if a toddler was that big, I'd fight it.
Really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't ever fight a toddler. That's healthy.
That was that big.
Oh, okay. So
a toddler, I could drop kick a toddler.
Right.
My nephew, I could punt his ass.
Yeah.
But like, if he was the size of a bear or a gorilla, I'd be like, all right, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
See ya. I'm good.
So given your rules, then said toddler is...
What do you mean rules?
You were saying he weighs the same and is the same size.
That's how the question works.
Right.
Am I speaking English?
Will my toddler even be able to fucking move given the weight of a...
Can a gorilla move?
Yes, especially if it's 20 pounds, it definitely could move. But if a baby is...
Have you seen a gorilla move? They're agile motherfuckers.
That's what I'm saying. But if they're if a baby with a baby's bone structure, not a gorilla.
Yeah, but he's still a gorilla-sized toddler.
Right.
Toddlers have the ability. They have the functionality to walk.
Have you watched Little League Soccer before? And tell me you cannot dodge that.
They have the functionality. They have the motor skills, the fine motor skills.
You're adding so many more parameters.
No, a toddler, that's common knowledge. They have the fine motor skills to be able to walk and maybe run.
I think...
and so now you add in the mix of their just pure size. I think that they
both
just start flailing.
I think we disagree.
I think a toddler flails once, and you're swiped into a tree, and your spine's broken.
All right. We don't agree on this topic. I didn't realize this was something you felt so strongly about, and that's okay. It's okay to be wrong.
This is like the deer versus goose thing all over again. This is our deer and goose.
This is our deer and goose, unfortunately.
That's wild to me. That you think it would just be so easy.
I do. It's wild that you think it would be so easy.
Yeah, because they're so small.
But the thing is, I understand your point of view. Yeah. I just think mine is easier. I don't think your option's hard. I think your option also probably could fight.
Yeah.
I just think the other one's easier. Anyways.
I'm thinking, right, like a toddler throwing a tantrum, right?
Yes.
Toddler throws a tantrum. Starts throwing itself around, flailing its arms. You're in the swing zone there. You're done.
Right.
Whereas like a little gorilla, sure, they might still have some agility, more agility than a toddler.
But like,
but they're toddler size.
I'm literally thinking of just like literally screaming back and scaring the toddler.
Right.
Because
I
think about when you're parenting and there's an upset toddler. You try to use calming voices or like don't pay attention and they stop. So I'm thinking, I'm like, until they tire themselves out and then pass out on the floor. They always take a nap.
What happens when they wake up and it comes right back?
Again, this goes back to our like tap out rule. If he passes out, that's a tap. That's a knockout. That's tapped out. I'm done.
But I'm thinking, right? Over. So like to bring back your point of soccer, right?
Yeah.
To try and just sell my case a little bit here.
No, sure, go for it.
Right. So like toddlers running.
Yeah.
Not a good sight all the time.
Right.
Yeah, it's usually pretty messy.
Mm-hmm.
So now just while my fully adult gorilla might have, some more mental capacity, it's still got little toddler-sized arms and legs.
Okay.
So the running isn't as good anymore.
Okay.
Because you've shrunken them down.
So you're saying now the gorilla's bone structure is different?
No, not the bone structure is different. I just mean that, like, physically they are small sized and not, and therefore they cannot physically be as agile.
But that doesn't mean, no.
Yes.
Any animal that size is still very agile, though.
Not any animal that size.
Okay, well, a lot of other animals
shrink down a gorilla. They're probably not as agile anymore.
Okay, but if you look at other, if you look at like monkeys or apes or anything like that, just because they're smaller doesn't mean
they're skinnier. Gorillas are thick. You shrink them down, they're still thick.
And so you're
No, they have the proportions.
Right.
Gorillas are still thick.
So that's what I'm confused about. You're saying, but their arms are short now. Oh, but they're still thick. You can't make something's true, something's not.
Look at like just generally small gorillas.
Yes, I'm thinking of little baby Grace right now.
Sure, right?
Look at that freaking, she moves.
But now you have to, but she moves what?
But she's a baby.
Right, and now, so look at, then imagine her older brother. A little bit more agile, but not agile enough to take down me. But now I have to assume, right? I have to take into account that we are talking about an adult gorilla shrunken down to his size.
Right.
He's got to have that muscle, I would still assume.
Right.
Just like your toddler.
Right.
To your point,
right.
It will probably not have the muscle of a full-grown bear.
Right.
But we have to find a common ground. You understand? Because we've made them the size of a bear and we've made them the size of a toddler.
Right.
Or the size of a gorilla and the size of a toddler. So do we give your baby a bunch of muscles like a gorilla? And do we take all the muscles away from my gorilla? You can't, because you have to keep some of the proportions.
Like, all I can think of is like just genuinely like sizing down like exact proportion.
Right.
Like
or sizing
exact
up
percent,
exact proportions.
and doing exact like percentage is like, okay.
Their body mass index is this.
Yeah.
Times 10 or divided by 10.
Right. And I wouldn't say like their strength or anything is diminished. I say
sure.
Like it is exact.
It proportionally decreases or increases.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just now the teeth happen to be shorter, I guess.
Sure.
But like just because
otherwise you're gonna have a massive gorilla head on a little toddler baby and it's not gonna work. Yeah.
Right.
Now they're top heavy.
Yeah. Now he's just he can't lift his head.
Yeah.
So I stand by
I still think. Honestly, I think either of us would win our case then.
Yeah.
If we were,
that's what I'm not trying to discredit yours.
If our only option was to physically fight them, because you did make I will not deny you made a valid argument. If our only option now is to physically fight them, I do think
I still think I would take on the baby.
Automatically lose.
Okay. Dude,
simply
I don't know.
Simply because you are proportionally sizing them up, and so therefore their strength does increase ever so slightly, even though they're still a toddler.
Only because of the weight distribution, though.
Yes.
Like, in terms of, like, a smack has more force, but it's so big. Yes, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I still think I could take him on.
So my gorilla would have more skill and might take me some time to take out a toddler-sized gorilla, but size-wise and strength-wise, I outnumber the gorilla 10-1 because I'm much larger proportionally. And therefore, I would arguably have more strength than said gorilla. But it really depends. How much strength does a gorilla have?
How much strength does it have? And then when it's downsized to be half. I mean, it's only cut in half to be the size of a toddler.
I don't know. Gorillas are pretty tall when they're standing upright.
Yeah, that's true.
They're big.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I still stand by my baby choice.
Fair. I think we could both win, arguably.
Because we both have thought through how we would win.
Yeah.
And the opposite person would not use that same tactic.
Yeah. This beer is expired, by the way. December 16th, 2024, just saying.
I think it's fine.
Does
it taste fine?
It tastes all right.
You don't have to drink it.
I'm just saying.
Shit, I'll drink it, pour it in. I don't care.
But anyways, so that's that.
You notice that now?
Yeah, I just happened to look down and I was like, wait a second.
That's lame. That's lame.
That question, by the way, I'm saving for if we have or when we have guests on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the.
Yeah, that's a good starter.
The question. Yeah.
That's a good because I'd be curious what other people say. Yeah. I have news.
Hit me.
It's big news.
Big.
Big. I didn't get to share it last week.
Yeah.
So I get to share it this week.
How big? Like
monumental.
Like toddler-sized gorilla or baby gorilla-sized toddler big?
Gorilla-sized toddler big.
Yeah.
I have officially accepted a role as a girlfriend.
You said role. No, you haven't.
I have a boyfriend now.
No way.
Yeah, I don't have a job still. In case people were following
that's
along.
Like huge. That's way bigger than a job.
But no, I think I need a job still. It's been weeks. We've been talking about this for weeks. But yeah, I have a boyfriend now.
No way.
Yeah, but my fingers stick. Yeah, I thought about being like, I have really big news, and she'd be like, surprise.
That would have been crazy. I would have.
If I put on like a fake ring,
lost my
I'd
mind.
be like, I've been keeping it a secret for about 4 years.
But also,
now.
like, I wouldn't have been that surprised.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh my god, but then I'd be like, well, actually, it makes sense.
Yeah, no. I just didn't. I disappeared from safaris and everything changed.
Yeah.
And I don't tell anybody. But yeah.
Can we know his name? First name?
Yeah, his name is Brett.
Brett?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tall?
Mm-hmm. He's 6 foot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
What's he do?
He is my best friend from college. And we decided to start dating about 4 months ago. And we kind of just were like, all right.
Wait a second. 4 months?
Mm-hmm. We didn't decide to start dating 4 months ago, but we've been dating for about 4 months now. Long distance because he's in Virginia.
Hold up. Hey, wait a second. You've been doing this podcast now for a while.
Yeah. I didn't think it was anything to chat about yet.
How did you not think there was anything to chat about? You know how many things I've said about you dating guys and you never bothered to.
Yeah, because I think it's funny.
You could have shut me up so many times. I would have bit my tongue a billion times.
I have only been going on dates with one person. So last week, my eat of the week was a date. I went to Celebration.
Oh, okay.
On a date.
Yeah.
So he's visited a few times. That's why I've had to cancel the podcast.
Okay.
Because he's in town.
Yeah.
And I'm just like busy. But yeah, so I met him my freshman year of college, and we've been inseparable. We've been best friends ever since. And then
this man made his way out of the friend zone
I've known him for almost 6 years now. Yeah.
Can I ask how he swayed you?
We got really drunk one night.
So he didn't sway you, the alcohol did.
No, that's not true. We've been talking about it, and we've had a marriage pact for like a year now.
Sure, yeah.
Which normally if you have a marriage pact with someone at this stage of your life, not making the marriage pact when you're like in elementary school, when you make a marriage pact when you're 23, you're kind of like, that's kind of soon. Like you could get
30 is pretty soon.
You could get married kind of soonish. And so, yeah, we talked a lot more and more the last like 2 years and just got a lot closer because of
4 months ago. What month are we in?
It was September. Or it was the last weekend of August. Nope, September. September 28th.
End of September. So we're getting into like the Halloween.
Yeah. It was during the Halloween podcast, stuff like that. But yeah, and then we just decided last week that we're like, can we just make it stop fucking around and actually be girlfriend boyfriend?
So you've been like talking to each other, seeing each other.
We've been talking to each other, seeing each other, and like actively like visiting each other for the last.
Yeah. But it was never like official label.
Nope. But it was everything.
That's okay. I mean,
that's normal. You talk for a couple months and then decide if you actually want to date or not.
Sure, yeah.
And plus with the distance, it's kind of
tough.
A different story because you only go on 5 dates over the course of the last 4 months. You know, technically.
So can I ask you? Yeah. Like, where's this fall in terms of like longest relationship?
Longest relationship?
Yeah, like where on the spectrum is this?
If I count.
Count whatever you consider to be a relationship.
I'm almost to this being the longest I've ever been. But since I've been with him besties with him for like 5.5 years now.
Yeah.
It feels a lot longer than what we actually have.
Oh, sure,
been.
yeah, because you've known each other forever. You know what he likes, what he doesn't like. He knows you.
Right. We've been hanging out and visiting each other already for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, before that, I think my longest relationship was like kind of maybe 6 months, 5 to 6 months was the longest I've ever dated someone. And so, yeah, this is a big fucking deal. I also haven't been in an official relationship for 4 years now. 4 years now.
Yeah.
Since my last relationship. Real, actual, like, official relationship.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's great. It's time to be alive.
But he knows that you're engaged to Matt, right?
Yes. No, he is aware of my husband. We actually did get married. We are. Yeah. I just normally would take my ring off because it leaves a stain.
Good. Okay. Yeah.
Gross.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's aware of that. He knows about our
just making sure that he's
whole scenario.
Fully in the loop. Yeah.
Yeah. Matt took it harshly.
I bet. Yeah. I mean, as any husband would.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think he understands. I mean, me and him have been swiping on his apps and stuff for him to have a
what
side.
Are those? What is the name of that app?
I don't think he uses that app.
Okay. I was like, which app is that?
No, he uses like Hinge and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah. So, yeah, I it went over okay, but
that's good. 4 months.
Yeah.
First of all, the ability for you to keep this from me is impressive.
Yeah, I've wanted to tell you on the podcast for a while, but then I was like, well, I don't know if I should just be like I didn't know how to throw out that I've been seeing my best friend casually. We haven't said it. We haven't had a big conversation. But
now that you've talked and made things official,
I can actually say it officially.
Yeah.
But
did you run this by him first?
No. I'm the man of the house. I don't care.
Yeah. Has he watched an episode?
No. Yeah, and I made him turn it off.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, I don't want you to see me like this.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, he found out. I wouldn't tell him.
Would he be on?
I don't think he would want to be on.
You don't think so?
He's so he's the one who doesn't have TikTok.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have Instagram. Oh. He's very like not into the whole like
social media thing.
So I don't think he would really want to put himself out there in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never really talked to him about that. But considering he doesn't have 2 major forms of social media and barely uses,
he's probably not that interested.
I don't think he really wants to put himself out there. But yeah.
I also think like to kind of counteract my own point.
You would take the baby size.
No. You would fight the girl size baby.
You changed your mind now that we've talked about this.
I like, obviously I've mentioned this before, like keeping relationships separate from the internet.
Yeah.
And I think that is a fine choice. If like if he wasn't comfortable being on, or if you weren't comfortable having him on, which I don't think is the case here. I think if he wanted to, he would, and if you wanted him, he would. But I think that also there's benefit to not having your significant other on the internet with you.
Right. Yeah, and that's why I also I don't know. I'm part of me is like the kind of person to be like, look what I have. I have this now, and look at this, and look at him, and I'm gonna show him off.
Look at my shiny new toy.
And literally just being like, oh, I'm going to dinner with this person, and then also I'm like, you know what?
Who else
I don't
knows?
Care.
Like
just my close circle, but like no one on like.
I was gonna like down here, like people I know.
Only Matt. No one at Safaris would know. Yeah, because I have never posted him.
Yeah.
I have posted him. He's on my Instagram.
Well, sure. He's been your friend for years.
I mean, I was actively, dating when I posted him last.
Yeah.
But I didn't, like, upfront post him first with me cuddling or anything. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we were also kind of like, we should probably still, like, take photos as friends-ish, because we don't know where this is going yet.
So you had that kind of talk of, like,
we were very hesitant at first.
Yeah, because we don't want to ruin a friendship.
We didn't want to ruin the friendship.
Oh, absolutely. That's a terrifying thing.
Seriously, like, he is one of my favorite people in the world. Like, we've been so inseparable, like, since freshman year.
Right.
And also, like, when I was back in college, I worked in my college town over the summers.
Right.
All my friends went back to home, but I stayed over summer, and Brett also stayed, and he was the bartender. Oh. So he worked at the local bar, and I was.
And we know how much you love the bar.
I do love the bar. I was there every night.
Yeah.
And I was doing tours for the college because I was a college tour guide. So I would give.
You're like, this is the local bar.
College. I know. I was like, I'll see you guys later, parents, after hours. I'll give you the real tour. No, but I would give tours all morning because I worked, during the day, all day, and then I just go to the bar, have dinner, have a drink or two.
Sure, yeah.
With him working and then leave. And that was like our whole summer. And then we'd go back to like one of our places, just like watch a movie.
Yeah.
And then pass out because we just crashed at each other's places. No.
So he's had a crush on you forever.
We briefly talked about it because we kind of wanted to like dive into this because it's been such an unspoken thing. Because again, we were friends, but when do we not become friends? And when do we want this to be more than friends? And he briefly talked about it that it was like one of those summers while we were working. The story was really cute. I'm not super gushy sometimes. He's extremely gushy. Which is
he really? Wow.
Which is weird for me too because I've always been with very like sharp-edged men before where they're just not the kind of guys to give you presents or make you breakfast in bed and
Absolutely,
stuff. But like Brett's definitely on the other spectrum. So when he's talking about like the minute he knew, I'm like, whoa, don't say that. That's not my best friend talking anymore. What's happening? It's very weird. But no, it's nice. It's just, it's different too. Cause now I don't have a best guy friend anymore. I have.
Sure you do.
A boyfriend. Blah.
Same thing.
Blah. I know, but it's weird. It's different. It's interesting.
Your best guy friend should be your boyfriend.
Yeah.
No, and like it's one of those things.
But that's the other thing. He's never been a problem for any of my exes either, which has always been good. Like he's never overstepped. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, we did have boundaries our whole time, which is good. Yeah. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was gonna jokingly say I will happily take on the role of your best guy friend. But no, I think that's fantastic. But it's like all I can do. One, proud for you, right? Super happy for you.
Thanks. I tried really hard.
You finally settled down. It's really what you've needed.
I know. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna move in this year.
Really? Like here?
He's moving to Florida this year.
Wow. Can I meet him?
I mean, he'll be in Florida. Oh,
I want to meet him.
He'll be in Florida, so you'll probably meet him at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But like mostly, like you aside, as a guy, really proud of him. Right. Getting out of the friend zone is a task
for sure
that is rarely accomplished by men.
For sure.
But also for him to do it.
I don't know. It's just such a weird thing because I don't think we never had any kind of like moments in college where we were like, oh my God, we should make out and go home right now. We slept in the same bed a lot in college. Nothing. Yeah. We just laid and cuddled and slept and just were two humans. Yeah. And constantly throughout college, we were always dating somebody else. Yeah. So like if one of us was single, the other one was definitely either hooking up with someone or dating someone. And it just kind of flip-flopped. Yeah. So nothing ever like hinted at something ever being, except for the fact that I was always just like, we're going to end up being married one day. Like, I hate all men. I would get out of a relationship and be like, I hate all men. I'm just going to marry you. It's going to be great. And that's like kind of like the running joke. Absolutely, and then now here we are. I'm like, silly me. Yeah. Silly me. Yeah. It was right under my nose this whole time. It's crazy. He's made it.
That man needs to write a book.
He gets a crisp high 5 for sure.
Yeah. Maybe a high 10
for sure.
You might get a high 10. Yeah.
Double. Yeah.
That's just props to you, Brett. I hope you at least watch this episode, and
I'll tell him to watch this one.
Yeah, and men take notes.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy.
Patience is a virtue.
Every man has been friend zoned, some more than once.
Patience is a virtue. We've been like long distance friends for 2 years now, technically. So, putting in the effort even after moving away is crazy. Yeah. And then
that's cool.
Yeah, he plans on moving down in Florida probably in like September or so. And
wow.
We'll see. Because again, it's such a weird situation because again, I feel like we've been dating for 5.5 years now. Yeah. Like there's no like early stage boundaries that we haven't already crossed just naturally. Yeah. So it's just kind of like slamming into a relationship. Yeah. Which I'm like, whoa, hold on. We still gotta think things through a little bit here. Yeah. But also I'm like, meh, but why? Why? True. I've known you for 5.5 years. It's okay. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I'm very happy for
you.
you.
It's really cool news. It's really fun.
That's awesome.
It's good. It's a good situation. It's not just some random person that was like, okay, I guess we'll date. Yeah. It's a good one.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I know.
That's so awesome.
It's really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he watches this and then fusses at me for stop telling people about me. No.
Wow.
That's my job now.
Yeah, that is your job.
Officially, I can do this.
Yep.
I've waited months to
So do you have like a date? Is there an anniversary in there somewhere?
God, yeah. I tried to figure this out. We have 2.
All right.
We have because technically we started going on dates and like seeing each other like that instead of just friends on September 28th.
Okay.
Or 29th, one of those days. I forgot.
Sure, yeah.
But we officially became like official on Sunday.
The 19th.
The 19th.
Yeah.
So, we were like, if people ask, I mean, it's kind of like we haven't been dating for, a week.
Yeah.
Right now,
yeah, Sure.
So we would tell people it's been 4.5 months or 4 months or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, we also kind of want to acknowledge like the day we actually became official. So it's kind of like we're going to celebrate like 2-ish. Type deal.
I think once you get to that point of like it's been I don't want to say a year, but like you could even you could say like once you're at that year point, it's a lot easier to like kind of move that date to be like it is September officially,
right.
Or it is
January
officially. Like
I agree. That's kind of once we get past
stage,
a year, then it doesn't really matter.
Then you could just be like, it's this point.
Because we've been dating for a year and a half now.
Yeah.
You just kind of round up or down.
Yeah.
So we were just like, right now, if people ask, it hasn't been only a week.
Yeah.
Like we're being realistic.
Yeah.
We've been dating for 4.5 months. Yeah. But also both of those days are 1 week before either of our birthdays. So we were kind of just like,
pick something in the middle.
What do we want to do? And I talked about doing our first kiss as like a day to celebrate instead, because that's in the spring. Yeah, that was when shit got wild.
Yeah.
But then we're like, but that's because that was messy, so we don't talk about that.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know. It's again, I'm out of relationship shape. Yeah. It's been fucking 4 years.
We'll get you a coach.
Yeah, I need a relationship coach, a marriage therapist or whatever. Yeah. But also just like those things, like every guy I've been with was not like, we need to celebrate our like 6 month or whatever.
Sure,
because one, we never even got to a 6 month.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's like the conversation we never really had is like, even after like 1 month, we didn't even acknowledge it that like, oh, we're still dating. Okay.
Yep.
So now that I'm like, oh, we actually found a date. That's weird. I don't do that. That's not me. This is not who I am. Not my.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Exciting.
I know.
The fans are going to be the male fans are probably going to be depressed.
Buzzing.
You've probably broken a lot of hearts today.
Sorry, guys.
But
sorry.
the real fans are going to be very happy for you.
I hope so. I hope people are happy for me.
Yeah.
I needed a win, damn it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you just need a job.
I know. Now I need to be employed so that way I can afford to have someone move down here and me not feel bad.
Wow, that's super, super fun.
That felt very sarcastic. But
yeah,
anyways.
No, it's actually very. Again, I'm very happy for you.
Yeah.
In other news, did you hear what Starbucks did recently?
No.
Starbucks recently changed their bathroom policy, or what they call their open door policy. So Starbucks is one of the.
You have to buy something now?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Starbucks is one of the few locations where you can walk in, use a bathroom, no questions asked, get the hell out of there, not drop a dime.
Mm-hmm.
But they are changing that because they, excuse me, they want to prioritize their paying customers.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. But I was like reading into this. One, there's like a lot of buzz around this.
Yeah.
It has been over the past like week or so. They introduced this open door policy fairly recently.
Okay.
I was reading like it was either 2008 or 2018.
Very different dates.
Very different dates. I know they're 10 years apart, but I want to lean towards 2018 because, again, it was like I was shocked at how recent this went into effect.
Okay.
It seems like it's been a thing forever, but
yeah.
Maybe it's because the only time I go into a Starbucks is to buy something, and so like the bathroom is just a second thought. But they did it as a like PR thing because there was an incident that happened at a Starbucks somewhere. And like police were called and yada yada yada, and people like were like, this is back before cancel culture was a thing, but they were like canceling Starbucks essentially.
Yeah.
And so as a PR thing, they said, there's no more having to purchase something if you need to come in and sit down and read a book or sit down and do nothing or go to the bathroom or do whatever. And it like you can do it. You don't have to pay for anything.
Right.
And it basically opened the door for like those that were homeless. They had a place that was warm and out of the elements to use the bathroom, to just sit down for a couple of hours.
Right.
And it like welcomed in a lot of people, or even those people driving down the road. Hey, really gotta run to the bathroom. Stop at the Starbucks. There's nowhere else to go. Stop at the Starbucks.
Right.
And now they are going away from that.
Wow.
And people are a little bit up in arms about it.
Interesting.
Because it's like, well, why would you take that away? It seems like you just don't really give a shit.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like,
I understand where they're coming from, but I don't care. I think that it should be open door. I think everything should.
I think it was fine the way that it was, but also, and I'm trying to think of it as like imagine a Starbucks in somewhere like LA, New York City, really, really high homeless rate. And so like those people may end up more often in places like Starbucks.
Right.
And it can get very crowded, and it's full of people not giving them any business.
Right.
And so they want to prioritize those people that are giving them money, right? Obviously you want to prioritize them. If you want them to have a place to sit down, because and now they're even apparently they're going to be changing it to offer deals to get people into the store more, where if you purchase and you like stay, or you like walk in, because the study is like people that come in are more likely to stay in.
Yeah.
As opposed to drive through, you're never going to go in.
Right, and you're more likely to buy another item or get it.
So they're like, we're going to offer deals on certain things. If you come in, you get this much off, or you get a free this, or you get this amount of whatever.
For sure.
And if you come in person, you get that deal. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to encourage coming into the store. And so they want to discourage the coming into the store without spending money.
Interesting.
And so again, like to your point, I also don't really care because I live in a place where Starbucks isn't super crowded.
Yeah.
Ever.
But like I'm thinking like people studying that just want to use that
common.
space
Yeah.
and like maybe not get anything. I went to and this genuinely ruined my impression of a coffee shop. I went into like a small business coffee shop, super cute, whatever, was really excited. And this was over in California.
Yeah.
And we had to pee. We simply went in to pee. We didn't have any intentions of buying anything. We had to pee. And they were like, you have to buy something. So we bought a $3 cake pop.
Yeah.
$3.
My gosh.
Yeah, I was pissed. But that was the cheapest thing.
Yeah.
And then we got said cake pop. And then she gave us the key. She wouldn't give us the card until we were handed the cake pop. And then it was a code. Or not a code. It was like a key and a code. And she was like, if it closes, like you'll have to like buy something else for the other person to use. You'll have to like pass off. But if we see the minute the door closes, opens, and closes again, it's locked, and you will need to buy another item before your other person can go in. So unless you guys go in together, like you use the bathroom as one or something like that. And I was like,
oh my, that's ridiculous.
Are you kidding me? And it was the only person working in there. And I was just like, you care this much? It was a tiny little rinky-dink local shop. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think I was with Emma. I was like, I didn't think we looked like we were up to any trouble.
Yeah, no good.
I didn't think we looked like we were going to be wasting their time or money on like 30 flushes of the toilet, So that kind of ruined my perception of that shop. Because I was just
absolutely.
Like, I would have thought about maybe getting a drink on the way out.
Yeah.
Because I was already in there for an extended time. But no, that made me mad. That's tough, though.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was outrageous.
Yeah.
She's like, if you let the door close, then you're going to have to come back.
Yeah, that's the dumb thing, right? Like, having a bathroom policy, sure, whatever. A little annoying, but whatever. But, like...
limiting it like to
every
one.
individual has to purchase something. That's stupid.
Yeah,
now you're just scamming people.
I was pissed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know that I even have a stance on this. If I did, I wouldn't know what it was.
There should just be more public restrooms.
There should
just literally like the ones you see like on the side of the road or like the ones at the beach side. Yeah. Like those like just nice ones with like showers. Just put those everywhere. Like the whole community would benefit. Yeah. There's no all that is using more water, which sucks. But put a filtration system in it, and I don't know. Figure it out. Figure it out, people. That's your job. Yeah.
It's something. Again, I get like their point on it, right? You want to get more money. Right. You want to prioritize your customers. Fully understand that. Right. Tread with caution. Tread carefully is what I'm trying to say, because it's like you could end up in another situation where you
find a lot of people
got to do a PR stunt to change it back.
Lose some customers here.
What else did I have? Do you have another thing? Because I've got one more. Yeah, one more.
Mine are just random yappers.
Okay. Here's a random yapper.
Yeah, go for it.
Would you or have you ever done a rage room? Onto a rage room?
No, but I want to. So bad.
Yeah, I watched a video recently on TikTok of a girl who'd gone. It was like her and her boyfriend went to a rage room, and she like was like hitting something against the wall, but it like she wasn't hitting it hard enough to break it, and so she like was doing it, but then like would like hold back right at the end and like wouldn't shatter the thing. And her boyfriend's like laughing while recording because you have to do it harder.
Right.
Like just smash it.
Right.
But you could tell she was like scared.
Yeah.
Like it almost looked like she was the type of person who like if she broke something as a kid she'd get screamed at.
Yeah.
And so like that's just embedded into her.
Right. It's ingrained.
It was like her. I don't know why, it was just like made me laugh a lot. Because then when it finally broke, you could almost like see like
something broken inside it. She was like,
she's like, wait a second.
This is good.
And the video ended there when it broke.
Oh, man.
But I was like, this girl probably went crazy afterwards.
Have you ever been in one?
I've never gone.
I genuinely think I would be a problem inside of one.
Yes.
I think I could cause some damage.
Yeah, I want to go so badly.
Yeah.
Like, give me a baseball bat and like a microwave or a TV or something.
We had a thing in school. Some of the fraternities for their philanthropy event would just get an old car from a junkyard and park it in the middle of our like main field, and if you just walked by you could just give $1 and you get like one swing with a baseball bat, and for however many dollars you give you could hit the car as hard as you want with a baseball bat. And every time I'd be walking to class, if they were set up, I was like, give me that bat. You can just have my wallet. Like I'm just, because it was in the middle of a school day in college, so of course I'm like, haha, I'm gonna do some damage. I loved whenever we'd see one of those old rusty cars parked out on the thing, my roommates and I would just like sprint, because we were like, because we've always wanted to do rage room, but they're expensive.
Oh yeah.
So it's hard to like do it for only an hour. Ugh, I really want to go though, but I'm like, can I do that at home in a safe way somehow? Can I rage room here for free?
Yeah, set up a tarp.
Sure.
And some glass.
Yeah, that would go well. I've seen people do the plate breaking.
Yeah.
Where they write on a plate, put it in a baggie, and smash it. But I'm like,
it's not as fun.
I need to.
I
want to
go
damage.
crazy.
I want to ruin some shit. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to those. I am next week. This is the opposite of a rage room. I'm taking a glass blowing class. And I'm gonna, it's here. If you ever want to do, I'll send you the link.
Please do.
It's just like a one day. You go just like those pottery painting places where you paint it. They'll fire it for you and stuff. But yeah, we can choose between a little vase or a little flower, and it'll show us how to like do the pulls and then like firing it and stuff, and then we let it sit for overnight, and then we pick it up the next day, and we choose the colors and everything. So I'm super stoked about that. Creating something. Awesome. It's a healthy.
That's like one of my favorite like random things to just like watch a lot of is glass blowing. So entertaining.
Crazy.
I love it.
It's I want to know how we figured that one out. Like who
no idea.
Who just started
like, see this piping hot sand? Let's put it on the end of a tube and blow.
And just spin
and then pinch it a little bit.
And then pinch it with like some and then ice it. Blows
crazy.
My mind how we came to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to do
We're
that.
Smart bunch of people, that's how.
I don't know about that one.
Oh man.
Here's my random question of the day. Do you have any hobbies? Like if you sat, you know how like
hey, spoiler alert, we're doing it right now.
Okay, so there's that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, do you have anything where like if someone were to ask you like, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do in your free time? What is that? Because I don't think watching TV is like a hobby, but I know so many people that literally do nothing besides watch TV.
Would you count video games?
I would count video games if it's like consistent.
Okay.
But like if you just own a Switch and you might play Mario Kart with friends, that's not a hobby.
No, I mean,
that's like having a deck of cards in your house.
I built my PC and play video games somewhat regularly.
Yeah, then I would say that's a hobby. But do you see what I mean? How having a deck of cards in your house, having an Xbox but not playing it unless you're with a group means nothing.
Yeah. No, I would say like video games ish. My biggest hobby besides that.
There'd be like niche things.
Oh, that's
hard.
Tough. It's been a while since I've done this, but I would still consider it one because like I have like over 70 decks of cards. Like
okay.
And like I used to do Magic. Like I used to like just like practice like little card tricks.
Sure.
And my friend Tyler, he like really took off with it. He is so good at Magic. He like does Magic at restaurants now and like has shows. He's got his own like business cards and like does parties and does live events. So he popped off. I will like occasionally do a very small card trick that I still remember how to do, but for a while it was a very like passionate hobby of mine. I still love collecting the cards.
Yeah.
Just like different decks of playing cards.
I like collecting playing cards too.
I don't know that I have anything super niche.
Yeah.
My next biggest thing after video games would be reading.
Breathing?
Reading.
Oh, I think I said breathing.
Yeah, breathing.
Breathing. I was like, oh, that's a hobby. Okay,
yeah.
sure. Sometimes I indulge that in like, on the weekends maybe, reading. Yeah. So that's the thing. I was thinking about it, and one of my friends was just saying, like, I don't have any hobbies. I was like, what do you mean?
That's crazy.
How do you not have any hobbies?
Yeah.
I don't. But then I looked at it, I'm like, well, if you only watch TV and you might casually play like, I don't know,
Mario
like
Kart,
Rocket League or whatever. I wouldn't say
it's hard to say that's a hobby. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So when that's really all you do, and you know. Yeah. So then I was trying to think. I was like, oh, what hobbies do I have? I'm like, well, I don't know either. Yeah. So I was just curious. I'm like, do you know you have a thing?
I'd like to really like pick up a more consistent hobby. Like there was a time where I was like, I guess this is a little bit more niche, but not really. Like I was really, really into puzzles. Like was doing puzzles on a regular basis.
That's a hobby for sure.
Yeah. Other than that,
but like,
and not just like
some
any,
of my
like
friends,
not just like
crochet.
1,000-piece puzzle. I would do like 3D puzzles. I would do like metal puzzles. I would do wooden puzzles.
Yeah.
I would do all kinds of puzzles.
That's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to like pick up like a crafty kind of hobby.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know.
Yeah, my friend from school is really, really into crochet right now.
Yeah.
And
very popular.
She's crocheting everything. She's crocheting all of her outfits. She's sent me a little stuffed animal she made, like all different stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there, I'm like, man, I don't do shit like I should, or at least like I used to. I used to have a lot more energy back when I was young, and I had so many different hobbies. And that too, like when we were kids, I feel like we picked up, like you just said, like magic and everything. You just pick up anything and you figure it out. Now, I feel like we're boring, and I don't pick up as many hobbies or try to do random shit. And that's like one of my weird, like back to, another random resolution. I'd love to just like keep trying random little tiny things,
Just try stuff.
Yeah, try new things. It's good for you guys, do it. But also like weird niche hobbies. Like I want to be special. I don't want to just pick up crocheting because my friend did that.
Well, your biggest hobby is like painting.
Right, and that's the thing.
That's
I don't paint
yours,
I don't paint enough, but that's probably my biggest hobby. If it's not painting, it is like Legos. I build a lot of Legos, and I do play a lot of video games and sports and stuff. So I have all of those, but like those are all very common hobbies versus like I feel like Some people have really cool hobbies, like people who like flip.
Yeah.
Whoa. Thrift flip. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
And not that many people can do that, like sewing and stuff. So I don't know. I'm trying to think. I just was curious if you had any like weird niche hobby that you don't really
that I do
talk about.
I don't. Yeah, there's nothing that like immediately comes to mind. But of course, it's like this is gonna be one of the things like we finish recording,
and now you're gonna go back
and I'm like,
oh,
I literally do this every day.
Yeah, you're gonna remember something.
But no, again, nothing immediately comes to mind.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, I'm a pretty boring person.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It must be rough.
Yeah, it's tough. Life. It's very tough.
And you want to be my new best friend?
Guy friend?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
well,
crazy.
we'll find a hobby together.
You have to.
Guess what? Spoilers. We're doing it right now.
Oh!
You know how I know this is a hobby? Because we don't get paid.
Yeah, that's true. You do this casually, consistently, and we don't get paid yet.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'll tell you what though. There's a legitimate chance still, and this is not to belittle you at all, but there's a legitimate chance that we start making money here before you find a job. And then you don't have to find a job.
Ain't no way.
But wouldn't that be nice?
That would be so nice.
Wouldn't that be so nice for you to not have to find a job?
But I am going to become a streamer, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll get paid doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Streaming's
a great hobby to get into.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially if it can make money.
Especially if I'm already playing video games pretty consistently.
Might
as well stream it. Might as well yap in the little microphone.
Should we do trivia?
Yes, we shall. I have nothing really else.
Hit me with El Question.
4.
2.
4.
Who was one of the founding members of the little-known British rock band Ugly Rumors?
I can't answer. I thought it was going to be a history question.
Tony Blair.
Yep, would not have got that.
Okay, let's find... What was the original name for gummy bears? I have a guess. I don't think it's even somewhat close.
I don't know.
I'm locked in with something.
Hold on, I'm giving 3.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm going to say my first one just because it's funny, but then I'll tell you my other 2 just in case.
Okay.
Because I feel like these are all going to be reaches.
Yeah, hit me.
My first one is Sugar Teddies.
Okay.
I also have Sugar Bears.
Yeah, Sugar Bears is good.
And Teddy Gummies.
I said Yummy Gummies.
Oh, Yummy Gummies is good.
It is Dancing Bears.
Dancing Bears.
Dancing Bears. I would give it to you if what was your first one?
Sugar Teddies and Sugar Bears.
Yeah, if Sugar Bears was your first one, I'd give it to you. But
yeah, don't give it to
Sugar
me.
Teddies.
I put Sugar Teddies.
Sugar Teddies. Let's see if we can find a country question. Here we go. What city was home to the first movie theater in the United States? City in the United States home to the first movie theater. I mean, it's got to be, right?
Sure.
What'd you say?
Teddy Gummies. No, I'm fucking. It's Sugar Bears. New York.
That's what I also said. Let me change my answer to see if I can get you. I'm gonna go Boston.
Boston's a good pick.
Pittsburgh. I think you're closer.
I think I'm closer.
Let's just double check to be sure, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I zoomed super duper.
Whoa, you said the whole planet.
Pittsburgh, New York, Pittsburgh, Boston. You're way closer. Dang it!
That's fucking good.
You're up 6-2 right now.
This is killing it.
Yeah, you're running away with it. Killing it. Anyways, Lauren, where can the people find you?
The people can find me at lou.mcdonald. That's LUU. .mcdonald. And my eat of the week, I drove all the way. This technically happened last week, but I drove all the way to Siesta Key, Florida. And I went to a little shop.
Did you go to Sharky's?
No. I went to a little shop called Anna's Deli. And I got a sandwich for lunch, and oh my God, it was so good. It's so good because it's so fresh and cold, like a cold like deli meat and everything sandwich that you don't get often. You can't get, cold deli meat very I don't know. It's just, you don't
unless
get that
you're going
often.
to the grocery store and making it yourself.
And but even then, it's not that good.
Not that good.
Not that good. So it was so delicious, and I ate it on the beach, which was just
magical.
Heavenly. Got attacked by seagulls, but that's okay.
It happens.
It was heavenly. Yeah, it was my eat of the week. Where can they find you?
You can follow me on my photography Instagram, Sharky_photography, and my regular Instagram is Secret Agent Sharky. My eat of the week, gonna keep it pretty simple. Got some Papa John's the other night. Had some pepperoni pizza and some garlic knots. As for the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter at CSGPod. That is CSGPOD. Follow us on TikTok at The Shuffle Podcast and on Instagram at The Shuffle_podcast. And subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all at The Shuffle Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We will talk at you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.